In part 2 of episode 13, once again, D-Man was caught off guard by the special ability of a Zoe, causing Sinbun to gain the upper hand at the start of their battle. The female tyrant charged at D-Man faster than Pancake, while the heroic gangster quickly brought his fists up for battle, but when she got close to him and he tried to punch her, his bare knuckles ended up touching large flames as Sinbun's body instantly transformed into actual fire that got all over D-Man. He painfully screamed with panic, and was about to immediately stop, drop, and roll, but just that quick, the big fire reverted back to Sinbun, and she began to strike D-Man with her long model-like legs, rapidly kicking him non-stop while he was constantly pushed back by her powerful kicks until they were 1,000 yards away from their previous area, and when they got that far, the female tyrant stopped kicking D-Man to teleport behind him with a beautiful spinning backhand that knocked the human hero all the way back to where he once stood. Sinbun quickly caught up to D-Man and flew underneath his flying body before putting her hands together and ruthlessly slamming them into his spine by swinging her arms up. The blow was so extremely powerful that it propelled D-Man into the blue sky, where Sinbun reappeared and instantly transformed into a gigantic meteor that crashed down on his body with so much force that it sent him hurtling back down at frightening speeds. The furry aliens that carried Sinbun's throne fled to a safer area in their world, while the meteor crashed D-Man into the planet's surface with a devastating explosion. The female Zoe quickly ascended into the sky to avoid getting caught in the crossfires of the explosion. She smiled, expecting D-Man to be almost dead, but when the smoke cleared, the heroic gangster was seen standing in a giant crater with a few minor scratches on his body. Her smile became a scowl as she was now very upset and surprised. She began to float towards the enormous crater that D-Man casually walked out of, and said, "So let me get this straight. Yo special ability is turning into random shit." Sinbun smiled again, and said, "I believe the correct terminology is shape-shifting." "I don't care what yo special ability called," retorted D-Man. "It couldn't kill me, but I can kill you, for all the dirt you did in this galaxy." With that being said, he brought his fists together and aimed them at the female shapeshifter before firing a wave of energy capable of killing her, but much to D-Man's shock and horror, Sinbun quickly shape-shifted into a fake version of him that blasted the exact same energy wave, which easily blasted right through his key attack since it was coming from himself, and he wasn't stronger than himself. "What the F?" was all D-Man could say before he was hit by his own energy wave, causing an explosion. Shape-shifting back to normal, Sinbun threw her head back in a loud fit of laughter that didn't stop until the smoke cleared. This time, D-Man was looking badly burnt while his coat had been obliterated by the blast, leaving him in a blue tank top, but even him being hurt couldn't satisfy the female tyrant because she wanted him to be dead. D-Man gritted his teeth in pain from his own attack while thinking to himself, "Damn, this Zoe ain't nothing to play with. I need to be careful with her. She definitely the strongest Zoe I got to fighting with so far." Snarling with rage, Sinbun's left eye twitched, and she began to talk to herself, saying, "How did he manage to survive? Could he be that strong? Of course not. I'm stronger, I tell you. He's just an inferior peasant to me. Yes, I'm stronger. His survival was mere luck. It was mere luck." With that being said, the female tyrant made a mad dash over to D-Man and began spazzing out on him with punches and kicks that he skillfully evaded with very superior speed before punching her in the face so hard and fast that it happened 10 times faster than a nanosecond, and she was instantly knocked a million yards away. D-Man teleported beside the tall-haired alien woman and side-kicked her far to the left thousands of yards away. He quickly reappeared near her again and powerfully uppercut her, sending the female Zoe soaring higher into the blue sky. D-Man appeared above Sinbun and pummeled her with his feet by jogging in place on top of her body before he falcon punched her out of the sky. Sinbun's body shot to the ground and hit it so hard that the planet shook. D-Man charged at the purple witch, who quickly shape-shifted into dirt that got all in his eyes, causing him temporary blindness and eye pain while she shape-shifted back into her normal self and punched him in the face, kneed him in the gut, batted him in the face with her ringed arm, and elbowed him in the cranium before shape-shifting into a boxing kangaroo that tagged D-Man with punches. and leaped up with a powerful kangaroo kick that sent him flying far away. Shape-shifting back into herself, Sinbun fired a volley of blue energy blasts at D-Man, who was just too quick for her, reappearing in front of the Zoe woman with another punch to her face followed by several more to her stomach and a fast upward kick to her head, sending her flying 5 miles away. He caught up to her quickly, but she teleported somewhere else to get away from him to recover. However, D-Man quickly reappeared to Sinbun's destination before her and said, "Where you going?" when she got there. D-Man nailed her with a swift haymaker, booted her in the stomach, jabbed her in the head, and kicked her in the side before he began to shower her with punches and kicks, beating her to a bloody pulp. Sinbun desperately shapeshifted into air, but D-Man polluted the air with a loud nasty burp, causing Sinbun to shapeshift back to her normal self with a scream of suffering before he blasted her away with a large volley of green energy balls. The female tyrant fell to the ground on her back as she was badly hurt while D-Man landed across from her 15 feet away. "Girl, yo tallest need to give up and let me murder you because you can't win," he told her while she stumbled to her feet. It was becoming clear to Sinbun that the Zoe threat was too strong for her, but what else could she do besides keep fighting? Giving up wasn't an option if death was the outcome of it. With a battle cry, the female shapeshifter fired a blue energy blast at D-Man, who easily swatted the attack away. Sinbun then charged at him with a kick, but he blocked it and threw a punch. Sinbun was lucky enough to dodge his fist by ducking, and when D-Man tried to quickly attack her again, she shapeshifted into ice on the ground, causing him to slip on the ice and almost fall. Sinbun shapeshifted back to normal and tried to kick D-Man again, but this time, he grabbed her leg and started body slamming her back and forth so hard that the planet shook constantly before he started spinning her around repeatedly. When D-Man finally let go of Sinbun's leg, she went flying before he caught up to her and kicked her like she was a football, sending the female tyrant flying so high up that her body almost left the planet. D-Man quickly flew higher than her, actually leaving the planet before he turned upside down, and shot towards her, tackling Sinbun into the planet's surface so hard that he caused an explosion. D-Man quickly flew back up before he could get caught in the crossfires of the explosion that eventually died down. When all the smoke vanished, D-Man could see the battered body of Sinbun laying in a giant crater. D-Man couldn't help but flinch at the injuries he inflicted upon the female Zoe, who barely looked alive. Her body was covered in bruises, burns, and small wounds that leaked blue blood. Her skin-tight bodysuit had tears, ripped holes, and was slightly burnt while the solid gold rings on her limbs were badly cracked and missing a few rings. Her face was badly bruised up with a black eye, and small trails of blue blood running from her mouth, forehead, and underneath her eyes, which were closed but eventually opened. Sinbun slowly rose from the ground on one knee and spat out a tiny puddle of blue blood while holding her broken arm. D-Man landed across from her, standing 13 feet away. Out of all the Zoes he fought, the physical results of her defeat was the worst. "My face!" freaked out Sinbun with horror and rage after seeing her own beat-up-looking reflection in the little puddle of blue blood she made on the ground. "Oh well, at least I'm still gorgeous," she then chirped with glee and relief. "Don't worry. You ain't gon' have a face or anything else after this blast hit you and turn you into ashes," warned D-Man before aiming his finger-spreaded palm at the injured female tyrant. "Like hell," disagreed Sinbun angrily before shape-shifting into a bright flash of light in front of D-Man, and when he closed his eyes and looked away, she made a run for it, shape-shifting into a bird that flew to where her spaceship was. D-Man opened his eyes and saw that the female tyrant was gone. "Damn, where'd she go?" he wondered before attempting to sense her ki, but much to his dismay, Sinbun was obviously hiding her ki. D-Man spent almost 30 minutes looking for Sinbun until he spotted a small flying saucer-looking spaceship shooting into outer space. "Oh hell nah. That scary hoe tryna run," he realized before chasing after the small spacecraft. Being so unbelievably powerful, D-Man was capable of surviving in outer space without a spacesuit by simply holding his breath for nearly 40 minutes while he was chasing after and flying far behind Lord Sinbun, who was fleeing from him in one of the small flying saucer-looking spaceships that Lord Muffrin used. The female tyrant looked back with shock and said, I can't believe this. He's doing what only a Zoe can do, survive in outer space without a vessel or special suit. And his speed, no one has never been able to keep up with these ships, not even a Zoe. She tried to leave D-Man in the dust by picking up the speed and flying her spaceship, but D-Man sped up as well, and started shooting deadly energy blasts at the spacecraft. Sinbun avoided his blast attacks by swerving her spaceship from left to right. Man, I know why this pussy-ass Zoe keep running, knowing goddamn well she can't get away from me, thought D-Man to himself as he followed the female shapeshifter all the way to planet Nubra. He saw her small spaceship ascend into the Zoe world, and thought to himself, y'all Zoe niggas might as well get ready for smoke again because I'm pulling back up to y'all planet. To be motherfucking continued.